What's up guys, my name is Timbo and welcome back to another episode of Destiny Database. If you guys participated in the poll I held in last week's episode, you know that this is not what a majority of you asked to see. Thank you to everyone that voted, but ultimately I decided to go with the Taken, as made pretty obvious from the title of this video. The reason I'm doing the Taken isn't that I don't want to make a video on the Vault of Glass in the future, it's just because I'm going to be going away for the next week and I don't think I'll have the time to make that video right now. Ultimately, making this on the Taken is easier given the fact that I don't have a lot of time before I leave and I happen to have lots of Taken gameplay. I wanted to make sure I get something out there so there won't be too long of a gap between uploads, and this was the best way to do it for me. So if I don't upload anything for like a week after this, that's why. There won't be a poll attached to this video either, but I am still going to encourage you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future episodes in this series. This video won't have nearly as many edits as usual due to me being crunched for time either, but hopefully you all can understand. But with all that out of the way, let's talk some Taken. The Taken are beings originating from multiple species that have been corrupted by the darkness and altered to better serve its purposes. Other than dregs, there's actually no such thing as a Taken Dreg. Don't know if you've noticed that. I don't know what's up with dregs, but both the Fallen video and this just hate on those poor guys. Originally used by Oryx as his personal army, they have more recently in Destiny 2 been utilized by other powerful darkness-aligned entities in the wake of Oryx's defeat. Some of these entities include Oryx's sisters Savathun and Xivu Arath, the Taken Vex Hydra Korea, and the Taken Ahamkara Riven. The Drifter has also managed to achieve a level of temporary control over the Taken within a gambit. While the Taken are made up of possessed members of other enemy races, they do have a few prominent features to distinguish them, other than being incredibly annoying. Taken are enslaved and corrupted versions of other races, as I said before. They are characterized as having violent, twitching movements, blackened bodies burning with an ethereal bluish-white flame, and blurry visions are caused by their mere presence. The goal of the Taken is to serve the darkness, claim as many worlds as possible, and while under the rule of Oryx, to avenge Crota. Now lots of people know what a Taken is, what they look like, all that stuff, but how exactly does one get the ability to take? And how exactly does it work? The power to create Taken is granted by the darkness itself and is bestowed only to its most formidable servants. The process of taking involves summoning a portal that rips an individual out of the universe and transports them to an unknown location within the Ascendant Realm. There, the Taken being encounters an unknown entity, presumably the darkness itself, whom offers them a way to overcome their former weaknesses. Once again, there is just absolutely no hope for these dregs. It can be assumed that the victim willingly chooses to be enslaved, but it's unknown if any victims have ever rejected the darkness. The Taken being then returns to their original universe with new paracausal abilities, and a pull to serve the one that took them. Pretty creepy stuff if you ask me. Taken resemble their former selves for the most part, but are both shadowed and eerily glowing, with a blindingly bright orb typically obscuring their facial features. Many Taken are seen to shiver or twitch in a disturbing manner, and their vocalizations are warped into shrieks and howls. Over time, exceptionally powerful Taken have been seen to grow pairs of black, curving spikes from their bodies. The Taken constantly exude a substance called blight, which resembles a shadowy liquid or gas charged with energy. Wherever Taken has settled, spherical aggregations of blight are commonly seen. To us, blight is just another thing to riddle with my bullets. But to the Taken, they seem to serve a variety of purposes, including shield generators, area denial, and communication nodes. Taken versions of enemies have radically different behaviors from their standard counterparts, including new and, let me reiterate, annoying abilities designed to counter Guardian abilities. Groups of Taken can be mixed with members of different species, as they should. This is 2019, and can appear on Earth, Venus, Mars, the Dreadnought, and Io. Taken are unwaveringly loyal to their master, whoever it may be, and will turn on former allies without hesitation. Even strong-willed enemies such as Vex Axis Mines or Cabal commanders are incapable of resisting this change. Although new Taken can be created through the act of taking new victims, existing Taken will remain if their master is killed. They'll just be aimless and disorganized, not knowing what to do with their lives anymore. A being powerful enough to take can assume control of Taken previously generated by a different individual and give the lost Taken a new home. Also, it just dawned on me that if someone took a shot every time I've said take in this video, they'd already be dead. While all Taken are enslaved to their master's will, more powerful Taken retain a degree of independent thought and initiative, but it's mostly at the discretion of the master themselves. After Oryx's defeat, the Taken Knight Malak, or the guy from the April update with the big juice-filled explodey head, attempted to seize the vacant throne for himself. Oryx's death left some Taken with aspirations to ascend and others lost and leaderless. However, with the advent of the Red War, Taken actually spiked and was more coordinated. This made Ikora hypothesize that the Taken were no longer leaderless, with signs pointing to Savathun being the one controlling the Taken, possibly claiming the power to take for herself. But I'll get more into that later. Throughout the events of Forsaken, several awoken Techians were able to be cured of their Taken influence, proving that it is possible for some beings to reverse the process. And now we're going to get into the origins and story of the Taken race. Since there's not as much on them as other races, I'm just gonna cover everything, including the events we play through in Destinies 1 and 2. Our story begins in the distant past with the Hive god Oryx, back when it was spelled with an AU instead of an O, if you were wondering, sought to obtain the power to take. As mentioned in my video on the Hive, Oryx killed his two sisters to gain an audience with Akka, the worm god of secrets. He then slew Akka, stole the secrets from its flesh, and wrote them upon a set of tablets he named the Tablets of Ruin. After going and speaking to the darkness directly, he returned, mantled as Oryx, the Taken King. With this new power, Oryx was able to conjure back his two sisters in the same way he had killed them. After this, Oryx then went about his way waging war and defeated several different galactic governments and species. It was also during this time where Oryx encountered Korea, the Vex mind which had orchestrated the Vex invasion of his throne. As I feel like I've said in over 10 videos at this point, Oryx took Korea and later gifted it to his sister Savathun as a present. Now we're moving along to the Taken War, which includes all of the events that took place during the Taken King Destiny 1 expansion. The Taken War was a major system-wide conflict fought between the Hive, led by Oryx, and all other races in the system. The war began as a direct result of the Guardians slaying Oryx's son Crota to stop an attempted invasion of Earth. Classic Guardians. In retaliation, Oryx brought his fleet to Saturn and made free use of the power to take in his assault on the solar system. Besides his own Hive, he took Fallen, Vex, and Cabal in enormous numbers and began blighting the system with his Taken forces. When he unleashed his Dreadnought superweapon against Queen Marasov's fleet, he also took 3 of her Techians. Through them, Oryx was able to invade and corrupt the Dreaming City, where he took the Ahamkara Riven. With Oryx's defeat, his surviving Taken were released from his control and rendered independent and directionless. Oryx was assumed to be the only known entity to date to have possessed the power to take, but following the Taken War, others such as Malak developed the ability to manipulate Taken and their blights. In particular, with the assistance from the Techians and Varix, the Reef was able to capture a large number of Taken within the Prison of Elders and developed a reliable method for infusing Taken energy into their arms and armor. It's now believed that sometime after Oryx's death, Savathun assumed control of the Taken, most likely through Korea. Moving along to Destiny 2, 2 years later, during the events of the Red War, the Taken invaded the EDZ, corrupting a forest outside of the Traveler's Shard. Certain Taken had also mutated physically, developing large curving spikes in their backs. A Red Legion commander was also somehow converted into a Taken, even though Oryx had been defeated prior to the invasion. This confirmed to the Vanguard that these Taken were no longer leaderless and had to be acting under a new, higher power. The Dreaming City continued to be infested by Taken and their blights. The Taken Riven was able to bait a group of Guardians into killing her, allowing her to unleash a curse on the city that increasingly worsened its condition. Within 3 weeks, Taken energies had saturated and engulfed huge portions of the city. And no matter what the Guardian does to clean up this mess, upon the death of Dul Inkaru, the Dreaming City reverted back to the state it was in when the curse was first unleashed. The curse then spreads in the same manner it had before, with it being revealed that the curse trapped the Dreaming City within a 3-week time loop, resetting whenever Dul Inkaru is killed. Through messages left by an unknown sender, it is revealed that the curse was made possible through the power Riven gained upon her death, and modeled upon Vex simulations overseen by Korea, an enemy I strongly believe we will have to battle in Shadowkeep. Don't at me though. And that event leads us to the present and is as up to date on the Taken as we can get. A newer race in the Destiny franchise, but still one that has quite a bit of information and history known about them. If you guys enjoyed this video, a like is super appreciated. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.